Well, good evening, everybody. I wanted to make sure that was done. Alright, let's see here. I'm trying to find a couple of things. Aww. Hi, Pokemon. How you doing? I'm also letting my phone charge just a little bit more because I didn't charge it while I was eating dinner. We're not fast enough. Aw. Hi, Rajanka. How you doing? And hi, Lee. Oh, shit. Looks like we got a whole party now. Alright, where's the cord for my camera? There we go. Also, I'm still trying to figure out who gave me those. and who they were gifted to. I didn't do that, by the way. That was like, that was actually funny enough. Yes, I know the phone is hooked up. Ooh, very nice. I've been one. Now, why would you go and try and log in? Yes, connect to the camera, like we always discuss. Doesn't show that I'm wearing. Also, don't show them what I'm wearing. I'm not switched over yet, but I'm like, don't show them what I'm wearing. This isn't that giant stream. Well, you gotta get charged. Okay, where are we at? Meeting. There we go. The food coma, it sets in, yes. And funny enough, it's technically gonna be it's a mini. Technically. It's both going to be a terrain set for Warhammer, as well as it's a dice tower. Do I have a dice nearby the sheet? Here, we'll use the Adeptus Ridiculous dice. I have a whole set of these and I've never used them. Are you shitting me? I did not. How? I did not. How did I pull that off on the first try? That's either fate saying something or fate just said, ha, there went all your luck. Yeah. Can you believe this shit, Barry? Okay, that's more like it. So, funny enough, Nero bought this to be a dice tower for when he plays D&D, and I'm like, you just bought a Necron-themed dice tower. To be fair, this is not big enough to use for Warhammer, which is even funnier. Oh look, it's this little shit. Hi, Shiny. How you doing? And how's the streaming been?
Absolute shit show with Murphy's Law. Family just every 5 seconds needing me for something when I literally give them a time frame for them not to bother me.
Okay, I'm debating. Yeah, it happens.
It's annoying as fuck, mind you, but.
Okay, that's gonna be gold. Copper. Gold, probably.
I need to get that. That mini Nami boxed up and mailed to you.
No. Gonna do the red glow on this and all the symbols. And these, because this is supposed to be Necron. I'm trying to figure out how to paint this. The crystals are gonna be easier because I can just do like green glowy crystals coming out of rock.
Yeah, well, that you're gonna have to do like a little facet for the gem in the middle.
Well, that's easy. This is easy.
Where the light like reflects off the back of it and like bounces back and causes like a highlight.
No, I was just gonna do the same trick I do for my Necrons normally, where I do it'll be light red in the center, and then it'll be light red in the center, and then it goes outwards towards a darker color. Actually, no, would it be that? No, it would be the other way. Red dot to. I'll get to the eye when I get to the eye. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do regular metallic first, then come in with Balthasar gold, so it looks like these are at least starting to rust, unlike the regular guys.
Yeah.
But they need their gold highlight around the rings on both sides. Because like I said, if you remember the Necrons I was painting, their whole thing is they are the planet they're on, basically it's just a completely, like, by the time they've woken up, it's now a completely water-covered planet.
Yeah.
So they're just, through just the sheer just force of the nature, it's basically dyed them that whole rusted color with the red. What do you think, Lee? Do we paint this silver first, like a regular metallic first, and then we come in with the Balthasar gold? And,
yeah, I'd say that's a safe bet.
not the Lorther, where the hell is it? And then the Hylac oxide?
Yeah. Well, the Balthazar will look really good.
Well, the Balthazar is going to look really good, but I think making it look like this thing is trying not to rust. Well, that's their whole thing, is their paint, so. 1 second. I go grab a Necron.
One that your neighbors, or not your neighbors, your friend's cat didn't destroy.
Keep myself proofing. So, if you remember when we were painting the Necrons, so when we were painting the Necrons, we were trying to make them look like they had been underwater and rusted and kind of like coppery.
Yeah.
Which is what we've got here. So,
gotta wait for a stream to catch up.
What I'm thinking is, since this is more of a building, and this was probably well, that's why I'm saying. So, these guys were basically from an underwater planet. I was trying to go for like Big Daddy vibes. You know what I meant.
Yeah, I know, but my mind went to something completely different.
I know what your mind went to. Wrong stream.
Yep. Wrong streaming service, yeah.
Because, yeah, the whole lore of these specific Necrons, if you heard me talking about it, Lee, their whole thing is their planet basically, when they built it, it wasn't underwater.
And more than likely the Imperium had to went the planet and flood it.
They didn't flood it, so the Imperium, because this is also involving the sisters kill team I have that's mermaid girls, that looks like mermaids. Mm-hmm. They found these abhumans that had been on there, that the sisters had trained to fight the Necrons and the other army I'm eventually going to build, which are the Death Striders or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Which are Nurgle. They're not Nurgle. They're Death Guard.
Mm.
And so I'm trying to debate if we want to have this be all rusty, or we want it to start looking like it's rusted, but the actual Necrons are rusted.
Jeremiah, you do what you want with it.
Well, these are technically Nero's army, but I paint them for him.
Fair enough.
See, the goal's the easy part. The goal's just going to be these rings around here and a few highlight areas. Like these center spires. These will be gold.
Yeah, fair enough.
Everything else is either going to have the red glowy bits in them, or they're going to get the rest of Nihilak. Here, let's do a little area on one side with a little bit of this metal, and then just do a straight Balthasar gold on the other side and just see which one looks better.
Yeah.
That's Rune Thing. I don't want Rune Thing. I want... Also, I want... Go Lead Belcher.
Yeah, good old Lead Belcher.
Well, I want something that looks kind of old, but also... Because the Necrons are like Rune Thing, normally.
Yeah. Well, and the first thing that came to my mind was one shade down from Lead Belcher.
I do have that one too. It's the one that you use the secondary paint when you're painting bolters, which is Iron Breaker usually.
Yeah. Which reminds me, the following week I need to pick me up some paints after I pay off my phone next week. I tell you, my phone died and I had to buy a new one.
Yeah, that sucks. We haven't talked much because you've been doing other stuff.
By the way, did you get Chinese or no?
I got my Chinese. It was Panda.
Ah.
Yeah. That's why I said my
Panda's
fake.
Decent for what it is.
That's why I said my fake Chinese food.
I'm trying to remember if tomorrow is a Blue Twitch night.
It should be. We'll see how I feel.
Well, to be fair, on Blue Twitch you always look sexy, so. better than me with my hairy ass thighs.
Well, tomorrow I'm debating if it is a Blue Twitch. I'm debating what it's going to be because I know. Because I got to find a game to play tomorrow if it's going to be a Blue Twitch.
Yeah, because I know you beat the furry game.
Which one? Because there's a few where it's like I've beaten them, but I haven't beaten every one of them. Because, yeah, if it's the if it's the puzzle series, I think we've only gotten to the second one. Well, the second of the. So they have two different series of that same type. We're going through the general audience one. We haven't gone to the specialized audience one yet. It's okay. Why do I feel it wasn't Balthazar Gold? Yes.
What's up, Jippy? What's up, Jippy? From New Orleans to Perth. I'm out.
Am I sure it was Balthazar Gold I used? Ah. That's why. As a half. Ah, fair enough. Couldn't figure out why it didn't look right. this side is just straight Balthazar Gold with a Agrax Earthshade on top of it. This is Leadbelcher with a put on and then partially wiped off Balthazar Gold with then the Agrax put on top of it. And if I remember right, I think I just need you to try a little. So I can come in with the Hylac, wipe it off. Well, I'm doing fine. See, this is where the problem is. I didn't record my recipe for how I did this, and I knew I was going to regret it. Because I think this looks closer than this side. I feel like I'm missing something in this recipe. Was it not Balthazar Gold? I wonder? I'm gonna try something. Because I think I know what I did. Well, no, Retributor armor is a gold, and it's a very goldy gold. And I do know I do use Retributor gold in this recipe. But I could have sworn I only used it for anything that needs a gold highlight. Yeah. This is Retributor armor. This is Balthazar. I'm wondering if I used Warlock bronze. Well, I am trying by putting something on here, and if it works, and I think it is, I think I used Reikland Flesh Shade. Or maybe not. And I'm not seeing Warlock. So either I didn't use Warlock, or I killed off my Warlock. Not you, Barry. I know it was some weird... Aw, get your rest. I know it was one of those things where as soon as I saw it, I was like, holy crap, that's it. Okay, no. this is the thing. When you look at this versus this, that has to be Warlock. And the fact that Warlock Bronze was up right on top makes me think that might have been the case. No, it wasn't. Or this paint just break down that much. I think the paint just broke down that much. Ah, good. The vibrator's still here. You know, it's worse when you don't see either of my hands on screen. You hear this noise. I think if this is mixed right, I think I figured it out, and I think I know what I did wrong. Yeah, that looks closer. Yeah, that's already looking closer. So I think that's what I did, is I used Warlock. And what the hell did I use Balthazar for? think what I did is exactly the same pattern, but I used Warlock Gold instead, Warlock Bronze instead of Balthazar Gold. Hi, Jabita.
Aba,
How you doing?
ay okay. How are you?
Painting up a set piece and dice tower for the Necrons.
Okay.
Yeet. Yes, give us your wisdom, oh wise Snick.
Ay ayo.
Hmm? What was that?
I said I love you.
Aw. Well, Lee was asking for giving us your wise wisdom.
Me EP.
Snick has spoken. So what have you been up to since last year?
Hold on.
To be fair, I should have started the stream about an hour earlier, but I was waiting on food. Well, 30 minutes earlier.
Okay. I've been okay.
Yeah? Do anything fun for New Year's?
Just been dealing with stuff.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah. You're so amazing.
I just also realized I'm pretty sure they're not here. But someone who just joined the server recently bought me a ton of stuff on Throne.
Okay.
So, when once some of it gets here, I'm gonna have to show it off on the other site.
Okay.
Some of it I can show off here. Some of it I gotta show off on the other site.
I'm gonna make you go crazy.
It's nothing like it's nothing like that. It's more like the kind of stuff where I can show it off. I just can't show it off.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think the only thing I can show off here properly is the pins. Because it's a little Bowsette and a little Buette.
Cute.
I think Shiny or somebody bought me the blonde-haired version of it, of the Bowsette.
Okay.
So this is the red-haired version I'll be getting now.
Shiny has a big, beautiful bottom.
Yeah, she's also passed out.
Yeah.
She was here a few minutes ago.
Damn.
Depending on my mood tomorrow, we might do a VR stream. We might do just a normal. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I don't necessarily have anything planned for this week's streams because I knew this week was gonna be a short week.
Okay.
Well, the only way I can make up not doing a stream Monday is I'm gonna have to do something on the weekend, and we'll see how my mood takes me for that.
Okay.
Because I don't always stream on the weekends unless there's a good reason to.
Pony.
Well, get your good rest or whatever you gotta do, Lee.
I'm gonna drag you into VC later and then make you watch My Little Pony with me.
Oh no. It's been forever since I watched it, unless you're talking about the newer series.
It was yours. Night night.
Night. Well, looks like it'll be just me painting stream and maybe occasionally talking. That's what I get for not starting at 6:30 like I had meant to. I think we've almost got the first layer on. Well, if anybody who's in Discord is in the stream still, if you'd like to join and chat for a bit, go ahead. If not, we're going to be getting the last of this Warlock bronze on here. And then we're going to come in with a Agrax Earthshade, I believe. Yeah, it'll be Agrax Earthshade. Sound of that clunk, that tells me that's Nero being home. I think we're going to leave the inside of the dice tower alone, so I'm just going to do this outer layer. But yeah, if you remember me talking about this yesterday, the layer lines that some areas you can kind of still see it, were not exactly the best. With whoever printed this. Which doesn't tell me they're necessarily a bad print, because most of this is a pretty decent print. It just tells me if the machine they had was set weird. Also, funny enough, I don't know what it is. I should wait till to start this conversation until after. I've been getting a lot of recommendations for the fucking IDW Sonic comics lately, and I I think it's only because the movie just came out, so everybody's like, "Oh my gosh! If you want more stuff like this, go read the IDW comics." But yeah, so far, it does make me want to go maybe potentially read them, funny enough. Because apparently they're actually canon to the game, at least Sonic Rivals and Sonic Frontier. Which, if we're going to play either of those two games, it's going to be Frontier. Though I also may do a Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough soon. The question for that will come down to, do we 100% it so that I can get the... do we 100% it, or do we just use it as an excuse to play the Chow Garden? Mess this. I don't want to do this because this means I'm going to actually have to like seal this paint in. And by the way, we're not done with painting the metallic yet. I'm going to try not to paint these little pegs because I'd rather everything fit like it's supposed to. Pretty sure I'm just talking to myself right now, but still. yeah, my trip down to the Nine Hells was fun. Didn't have to do any discussions that I wasn't willing to have, so that was a good sign. Got to eat a lot of good food. Everything else went pretty nice. Yeah, no matter what, I'm gonna have to seal this in, I think. Funny enough, I think since we've got the glowy red, the proper glowy red, gonna have Nero answer a couple of things. Hi, Micah. Oh yeah, so this is a Necron themed dice tower that I'm gonna try and paint up like my Necrons. So I've gotta remember how I did my recipe for these guys, and if I remember right, it's Warlock Gold, Warlock Bronze. I think it's either gonna be Flesh Shade or Agrax. It's probably Agrax. And a highlight with some highlighting of this and then some gold on some other areas. As for you, I got 2 questions for you. Lava rock?
Or
Just regular rock?
definitely lava rock. Give it the blood crystal effect.
And then do you want... Well, this will be lava rock, so it's going to be like this. I'm going to give this like the lava rock treatment, so I'm going to try and add some other colors, but keep it all like blacks and dark. Different black tones. But for the crystals...
Yes.
Do you want to keep it...
You would feel that instantly if I
I
did.
am aware. Do you want fluorescent red on the crystals?
You know what the best part of that? I could see your message, and you did not summon me because I did not see it.
I wasn't sure, it was perfect timing. But yeah, do you want fluorescent red, or do you want something different for the crystals?
What would be something different?
Well, because everything on the actual thing is going to get this effect, where it's the red and white mixed together.
Right.
So it's got the Necron glowy bit going on. Soft glowy bit. But since these are like crystals, I'm not sure if we want to do this.
Or
orange. Or hell, we can do a purple, I think, because I do have a purple fluorescent too.
I would honestly go with the purple fluorescent for that.
So you're gonna do red and purple together with the copper?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Yes, totally made that myself. Definitely did not 3D trace that. Definitely. Definitely a creative being. Definitely didn't get that off of Amazon.
Alright, let me look up a recipe for lava rock.
Okay, Eldritch Cat, can you please not climb up there?
I don't know why. Polly has been climbing into the weirdest spot, and I've been trying to stop him. And I think he's turning into a game now.
Because he's a polymorph.
I know!
Come in.
Okay, lava rock recipe.
And I use the Eldritch power of Light Laser.
You left the door open.
I know. I'm going to close it momentarily.
Alright. The only thing I could think, because it's lava rock. See what they're doing, and then it'll actually probably be easy. Because now all I gotta do is I just realized I gotta paint all these crystals white. If I want to use any form of fluorescent paint. I could do silver. That might be the cheaty way to do it. Is to make these all silver and then put this on. Okay, I need the smallest dry brushing brush. Then I need Administratum, that's Corvax. I think what we'll do is we'll paint all the really big, obvious crystals Rune Fang, and then we'll put the purple on. Bugs are a Christmas song in my non-Christmas playlist.
A time of joy, of friendship, of family. All of this, life day is, and a happy one. I wish you.
Now we're gonna do the gold around the eyes. And then we're gonna come in with a Agrax on all of this. Oh, we got an ad break starting soon. much closer to the Necrons now. I might have to do the same thing on the, we'll see. So the reason I'm painting these silver is instead of trying to paint them white, at least the undercoat's going to look interesting under the fluorescent. Because when I went and painted these white, I had to paint them gray and then come in with white, and then I had to... It's a whole process. Holy crap. And we haven't even gotten past the base coating yet. Well, base coating on some stuff. waistcoat. Thank you for the hydrate. 1 second. Also, I just realized my mic was nowhere near me. No wonder I probably sounded super far away. All right. Try and lighten up some of the stuff that's Bum, bum, bum. This is why I like using this rig, is it just goes. I should play the Yakuza games one of these days. And this is the part where I had to focus, so that's why I've been kind of quiet.
Let's have Nero come and give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Who posted? Yeah. Oh, it's expecting worse. I need to get arm triggers or something. The nice thing is because I did the silver, it means just I need to go where there's no silver. Oh, it's too much. Shit. Also, I just realized, since we've now hit that sub goal, if we consistently hit that sub goal for another month or two, we will make a permanent subscriber night where we do basically a community subscriber night. we'll do like a subscribers only thing, and it'll be subscribers pick the games and stuff they want to play, or they want to watch me play or do. That was always kind of a plan, is if we ever hit like 10 subscribers, I was going to start doing that. So, like I said, if this stays for like a month or two, we'll make that a permanent thing. If not, we'll just do community nights like we've been doing. So, yeah. And this isn't to like encourage people to like keep subscribing. It's just more, hey, if we do keep this, this is kind of the reward to everybody for subscribing. Because we'll keep doing community nights, and we'll probably do like subscriber specials, just not as often. Almost done. Well, we've got this nice, almost iridium looking base. And I just realized there's more place I gotta paint. So we're gonna do that real quick. Okay, now it's done. Okay, so we've got this nicely painted base, and we've got this. So we're gonna probably tomorrow I'll go outside and I'll give it a clear coat just to protect all this paint. But yeah, look at it. Nice little terrain piece. Okay. But I think that's enough painting for tonight. Let's see, what do we want to do real quick? Let's see. Do we want to watch a ghost video? Let me check one thing, and then I'll determine how much longer we're gonna go. We watched ghost videos yesterday. I could see if there's a... I just want to make sure I don't have to go to work tomorrow. If I don't have to go to work tomorrow, we will maybe watch something a little longer. Yep, I am off tomorrow. So let's see here. We watched ghost videos yesterday. Let's see here. Is there anybody actually still here first before we decide this? Because I might just stretch this out for 5 minutes. Let's see here. I was trying to see if there's anything that's actually like, oh, let's watch that real quick. Okay, I'm not really seeing anything to watch. God dang it. Actually, Q2. Let's watch them. Let's see what analog horror stuff we've got. Let's watch this real quick and then I'll think we've got it.
Recording for the asset breakout that occurred on the 10th of August.
Back off! Get away from me! Ah! Ah!
Welcome to 2025, everybody. I wanted to open this video off by thanking you all for making 2024 a year to remember. Very quickly too, since at the beginning was when we managed to hit the magic 100,000 subs. Totally unbelievable still to this day. But as the year went on and each Sunday was met with a new 4+ upload, there has always been a consistent ask that people never seem to get enough of. Analog horror dinosaurs. Something about the two used together has people's interest in a chokehold. It does make a lot of sense, however. What has made me so intrigued with the idea is that we are harkening back to making these historical creatures something to truly be afraid of again. These latest Jurassic World movies, granted I haven't seen Dominion, felt mostly like dinosaur action flicks. The first Jurassic World was still a pretty good movie. There still seemed to be an attempt at making this a nightmare horror scenario. But once we get past that, it all starts turning into some weird Hollywoodized popcorn movie. Just here to have Chris Pratt look cool riding motorcycles with velociraptors. Which, don't get me wrong, it's pretty cool to see, but it isn't going to stick with you like how terrifying the dinosaurs were in the original, or God forbid the books. Let's just hope Jurassic World Rebirth takes some notes and slaps an R rating on there and gives us a terrifying time. But enough talk about the Jurassic Park movies. If you remember in the last Jurassic Park video, we covered the found footage series made by Dino X. And before you say anything, it says analog horror in the title, plus it was too good not to come back to. But that's just one of what we have in store today. As always, be sure to check out the original videos that I'll have linked down in the description below. But without further ado, we are definitely going to need some protective gear for this one, so strap in and hold on to your butts.
But before I let you get too far, just wanted to say if you're new here and enjoy what you're watching, be sure to hit all those neat buttons down below as it really helps support the channel. And if you want to see more, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Letterboxd. Alright, now you can pass through.
Jurassic Park Aftermath. Our entry begins and we listen in on an incident report for August of 1992, and we are introduced to Alistair Grant, the Assistant Chief of Security. Turns out Grant is the guy from the last entry who survived the T-Rex encounter. This incident report is going over the asset breakout that occurred a couple days earlier. Sounds like this is going to be a perfect recap for those who aren't caught up. Unfortunately, this asset breakout resulted in another security employee's death, Frank Ellsworth. Also, not to mention all the property damage. Grant then goes on to describe the details of the event. During a bad hurricane, the power for Outpost B got knocked out, and Frank was the unfortunate soul who had to take care of business. Once 2 hours went by and no one had heard from him, Grant knew it was time to try and look for him. He describes as he himself was attacked by the T-Rex, but still managed to contact the containment team. On his hunt for Frank, he ended up discovering the brutal truth. Frank is now only a puddle of blood. The T-Rex then came back for a vengeance, but the containment team arrived just in time. Like, literally just in time. They tranquilized the T-Rex, and Grant was saved. But he wasn't safe from injuries, however, since during the second T-Rex encounter, it had grabbed Grant by the leg and had thrown him to the ground. And it sounds like the damage is so bad, the leg will likely be amputated. To end off this incident report, Grant gives us some personal notes.
I'm extremely concerned about the security on the island. The park is supposed to be open in 2 years, and the fact there can already be a major incident like this is alarming.
I am on Grant's side here 100%. The fact that the park is supposed to open that soon while problems like these breakouts still happen is insane. That's why I really like Jurassic World a lot. It shows you what would happen if they actually tried opening the park. According to Grant, management is aware of all these concerns, but they haven't been doing anything. The last thing we are met with this tape is Grant's prediction of events to come.
I'm afraid that one day it goes too far, and what InGen investors call control might turn to chaos.
As always, this series is just super impressive. The animation and storytelling has been really good so far. I'm eager to get to the next one, considering this was mostly a recap. I need to know what happens next. Jurassic Park, Lost Tapes from Isla Sorna. We open up and can see we are watching a tape from the FBI,
island?
and we are brought to post the Lost World. We learn that after the San Diego incident in '97, access to the island was limited, making it inaccessible to the public. I'm not sure it was ever available to the public now that I think about it, but that hasn't stopped people considering illegal tourism has emerged. Definitely doesn't sound like a safe idea. This entry contains a collection of tapes that were found by these illegal tourists. Our first tape has us following a daughter and her dad. She is oddly excited to see the T-Rex. Couldn't be me. The two climb out of the plane and find their seats, and before long, it's time for takeoff.
I want to sit by the window.
Passengers, please.
We end up arriving at the island, and our characters are amazed. But once we get closer down, our pilot manages to somehow be a comedic genius.
If you look on your right, you are about to see something breathtaking.
I think I see some over there.
The plane begins to crash, and it's quite the tense scene. Would not want to be in this scenario. Our footage cuts out, and once we return, we see the plane has been ripped apart, but somehow our daughter character is still alive. She walks out of the plane seemingly unharmed. She looks up in the sky, and we see a pterodactyl flying away with somebody. Hopefully that wasn't her dad. She
Probably.
starts to head a little further, but is very quickly met with some frightening visitors.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No. No. Ah! Ah!
After
I
our
would've
footage
ran
cuts
back into
out,
the
we end
plane
up at our
and-
next tape. Sounds like our daughter character didn't make it out of that one. We wind up following a different character, who has somehow found themselves on a very rickety bridge really high up.
Don't go beyond the rickety bridge.
I don't think I would trust the stability of this, but just like the daughter, our new character has his very own encounter.
Oh, fuck! How did you get there? Get away!
The Velociraptor keeps chasing him up the bridge, and our character must have the worst luck considering what is waiting right behind him.
Back off! Get away from me! Ah! Back off! Get off me! No!
The next tape we end up cutting to is the most peaceful one so far. Whoever we are following is lucky enough to only encounter the Brachiosaurus. However, our next character is definitely not as lucky. We're introduced to Andrew, who attempts to call out for help on his radio. He informs whoever is out there that the plane has crashed and that he was separated from the group. He then tries to list out his surroundings, but at this point it isn't clear if anyone is even listening. Sure enough, the radio craps out, and Andrew hears something from the bushes.
Fuck! Oh! Shit! The fuck was that?
Nothing too crazy, but enough to be worried. The next noise that Andrew ends up hearing, I would definitely be worried.
Fucking creepy. Fuck! What was that?
He tries to make a run for it away from the sound, but lo and behold, Andrew's day is about to get a whole lot worse.
Ah! Oh shit! No!
Miraculously, Andrew was able to get away this time, but now he has two he has to deal with. But from what we know from the movies, Velociraptors are a lot smarter than you think, and Andrew is about to learn that lesson the hard way.
What was that? No!
They kept
The
the
next
thing from the
character
third
we
movie.
end up following is literally experiencing my worst nightmare, being chased by a damn T-Rex. He manages to make it through the gate, but if you think that's stopping this giant dinosaur, you're in for a rough surprise. As expected, the T-Rex slams through the fence. Our character tries to get up and run away, but in a shocking turn of events, the Spinosaurus is here as well. This guy is not having a good time, I tell ya. In the craziest scene yet, we see as the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus go head to head, fighting over who gets to eat our tourist. Shockingly enough, the T-Rex ends up being the one to back down, leaving our character in the hands of the
Which
Spinosaurus.
is 3.
He begins to haul ass in the other direction, and manages to find a way inside this company building. We see as this room has a bunch of chairs in front of a projector, and sure enough, the recognizable Mr. DNA flashes on screen. Looks like we stepped on a remote. I would be worried about the noise attracting any unwanted attention, and it
I'm
sounds
more
like
impressed
it
that there's
just
power.
has.
But we've made a great effort to ensure safety across the island.
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
He looks around the room trying to find the source of the noise, and if I'm gonna be honest, this struck me in my soul a little bit.
It's a network of high voltage electric fences spanning over 50 miles across the entirety of the island.
The last thing we see in this entry is the camera on the floor, as we see our poor character's puddles of blood continues to grow. Looks like he got the good old Dennis Nedry treatment. It would have been cool to see the large design for the Dilophosaurus, but the classic Jurassic Park design is still nice to have. Once again, this animated Jurassic Park horror series continues to be spectacular. It's as clear as day the amount of work that goes into each video, putting us on the ground floor, having us face these monstrous creatures. It would be cool if we got to explore a little more of the story that seemed to be building up in the first 3 entries. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the anthology type approach with the latest entry. It was super neat to see all our dinosaurs in action, but I would like to see if Alistair Grant gets into any more adventures. Now the next addition to the Jurassic Park analog horror entries seems to be almost reminiscent of The Man in the Suit, where the story takes us behind the scenes, and the horror exists outside of the movie. The T-Rex animatronic incident. Our entry opens up with a trailer for the original Jurassic Park film. However, once we get to the moment in the trailer where the T-Rex stands in front of the upside-down cab, we get a quick flash of text that just says, "Help me," before our scene cuts out.
Oh boy.
We then learn that a year before the movie's release, the use of animatronic and CGI dinosaurs was not yet known by the public. At least, that was the original idea. The producers ended up deciding on going with just animatronics, cutting out the CGI altogether. They thought that using CGI wouldn't be convincing enough. Another thing the producers wanted to do was film the entire movie on the island, to make the environments as realistic as could be. Interesting fact is that, in reality, the Jurassic Park movies are usually filmed in Hawaii. Since we're going with strictly animatronics here, we are going to need a highly skilled team of builders to take care of it all. Luckily, they also hired a photographer to document the whole process. The first picture we see shows us the Triceratops being created. The next photo shows the Brachiosaurus, and the third photo shows the making of Velociraptors. I feel like working on this movie must have been really fun and scary. We then learn about their largest animatronic yet, which undoubtedly is the T-Rex. We get to then see some behind-the-scenes photos of the big man himself. We see a photo of just the inner skeleton of the dinosaur, a more
And they
detailed
somehow
look at the
came to
robotic head,
life.
the skin and detailing finally being applied. This photo looks like they are attempting to apply the head to another part. We see as the head has now been connected to a larger part of its body, and as the photos go on, the T-Rex animatronic gets closer and closer to completion. We learn that the skeleton for the animatronic was made out of steel and aluminum, yet the teeth are a different story. They were made out of some mysterious material that we don't get to know the name of. It's been censored. It's unclear where they were able to acquire such a material, but the main reason for using it was to give the T-Rex a more threatening look while on screen. We want the scenes to be extra horrifying. Our narrator wasn't sure if it was safe. According to them, this material was stronger than titanium. That's pretty strong. That definitely narrows it down. We're then shown quite the graphic example of what would happen if someone's head unfortunately found its way in the jaws of this thing. Let's just say it'll definitely be brutal.
Oh yes, analog horror. What they like to do is weird stuff like this.
Obviously, most of the actors and staff are not very comfortable being around this giant T-Rex. I wouldn't be either. Being on this film set doesn't sound very fun anymore. The time had finally come for them to set out to the island to start filming the movie. Apparently, we don't even get to know the islands the movie was filmed on, even though I just said it a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Everything the crew had put together had finally been set out onto the island, and filming can finally begin. Filming went on for several weeks until they eventually got to the iconic scene. Sure enough, we see the exact clip from the movie, the T-Rex breaking through the gate, and everyone in the theater shitting their pants. Everything is said to have been going well, until malfunctions started to appear. The T-Rex began to head towards the two kids in the car. Apparently, and this is pretty messed up if you ask me, none of the staff members informed the child actors that this giant animatronic T-Rex was supposed to attack them in the car for the scene. You know, to get the raw reactions. If I was one of those kids, I would have probably ceased to exist on the spot. As expected, however, something unexpected happens. We then watch the scene play out from the movie, with the T-Rex hanging out in front of the car. We've all seen this.
Gonna let the ad play for a few minutes. So if anybody's still here who's not a subscriber. I don't know what I did when I rubbed the paint off my arm because I accidentally got spray paint on my arm, but there's just this annoying itchy rash that I've been trying not to scratch. What Once I see the thing that says, hey, it's done, I'm gonna start the video back up. But yeah, once this video is done in a few minutes, we'll go find somebody to raid. Probably gonna be Micah because he popped in and said hi. Unless Heck is still streaming, in which case maybe we'll go raid Heck. Although I think Heck's only on YouTube, so we'll see. My neck. Alright.
This movie before. The T-Rex then bashes through the roof, and it looks like the kids are done for. But as we all know, the kids make it out, right? Well, not in this universe. Apparently, the big piece of glass that was shielding the kids from the T-Rex animatronic shattered, and the T-Rex was able to let loose, as we're about to see. As unfortunately expected, the two kids did not survive the encounter. In fact, they had a very gruesome death. Since the T-Rex is an animatronic not meant to eat things, a lot of remains wound up in the machinery. Nasty stuff, I tell ya. Obviously, the entire crew were left in a state of shock, realizing the horrors that they themselves had created. The T-Rex then lets out its iconic roar with a mechanical twist and escapes into the forest. Luckily, the on-set photographer was able to grab one last photo of the T-Rex before it escaped.
Ah, great, there's an evil animatronic robot dinosaur.
That was definitely a twist I was not expecting to come from a Jurassic Park analog
An analog horror with
Most
a
of them
twist?
always go the route of taking place in universe.
Somebody call
to the
M. Night
movies,
Shyamalan.
where the dinosaurs truly do roam the earth and not just terrorize me in my dreams. But this one goes in the on-set direction, where all the horrors take place in the behind the scenes of the movie. Not only are you afraid of the giant animatronic, but you also get to see a neat little look into the movie making process. It's a win-win scenario if you ask me. It was nice to get a taste of two different variations and takes on the Jurassic Park analog horror world. We got to experience the horror on the ground level, seeing these dinosaurs as we would in real life. The high quality work and animation definitely adds to the fear of living in this nightmare, following employees of InGen as they try to deal with a power outage resulting in a loose T-Rex, which is reason alone to never want to work for that company ever in your life. I also would not be the tourist who would think it's a good idea to visit the dinosaur-infested island, especially in a post-San Diego incident world, where there isn't just bad security anymore on the islands, there's no security. To think that you can withstand the might of any of these beasts is insane. We then got to experience a more classic analog horror-styled Jurassic Park entry, while also having the behind-the-scenes twist. I love the idea of everyone on set just being increasingly more nervous the more and more this T-Rex gets finished. We never got to find out what the secret teeth material was, but it was a bad idea to ever use it in the first place. Luckily, the film producers decided to film on a
Remnant or
secret
something
remote
like that.
island, so when the T-Rex escaped, it wasn't going anywhere highly populated, unless the secret location is just indeed Hawaii. I always love diving back into the world of dinosaurs within analog horror. They are just such a scary concept, yet I can't get enough of it. I hope you all enjoyed these Jurassic Park analog entries as much as I did. It seems like I'm not usually alone when it comes to the interest of the two genres being put together. As always, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the original videos as they are definitely worth a watch. However, that'll probably be about it for this video. Be sure to keep leaving me recommendations down below, whether it be in the YouTube comments or the community Discord where, just like the T-Rex, I'm always around. But if you'll excuse me, I'm going to try and not have any T-Rex nightmares tonight.
We should actually watch some actual analog horrors and not 4+ one of these nights. We'll see. Alright, let us see. Who is streaming? We got Micah. Let's go raid Commissar. We'll do Commissar Hector this week, and then if I do another Twitch stream this week, we'll do Micah. But tomorrow will be probably a blue Twitch stream. Don't know what we're going to be playing. Don't know what we're going to be doing. Don't know who we're going to be doing. But I hope you all get a good rest, and I hope you all get a good evening. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, my lovelies.